Hey, welcome back to another Backlog Gaming News, where the four of us, or sometimes fewer of us, go through and check out some of the controversial topics that are going on in the news right now. And joining me today, I have Fable Trek, Rage PB, and Unchained Saga. Hope you guys are doing well. So Microsoft is raising prices on their Xbox stuff.
What?
Shocker.
IGN says by a lot. I was going to say, let's go through this article here and see what's going on with this price increase, and see if we can't get some of your opinions.
Right in the article, by a lot. Love it.
Yep, that's what I was reading. In
an
an announcement today, the company said it will be raising prices on Xbox consoles, controllers, headsets, and some games. The price hike for consoles and accessories kicks in today, May 1st. Oh man, this is 3 days old. And while game prices will stay the same for now, we should expect to see Xbox charging $7.99 for new first-party games around the holiday season. Price increases are taking effect globally, with the exception of headset prices, which are only going up in the US and Canada. And here's what the prices are looking like right here.
Woohoo. Lucky us.
Some of that.
Series
Series S 1 terabyte going up to $430.
Jeez.
I paid $500 for the regular 1 terabyte Series X. Now the 2 terabyte is being sold for $730.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my word.
$130 price. Here's the kicker. This is all old hardware. This isn't even what's coming out. These are all 2-3-year-old consoles, and what's the justification, you know?
Yeah, it makes me wonder what the prices are going to be for the next generation, because this
jeez. Well, if an old console is going for $800, we'll find out.
Well, the consoles really need menopause relief beyond hot flashes.
Oh man!
All right, let's continue here. You can see the price changes by region on the official Xbox page here. Microsoft issued IGN with the following statement as to why the price increases were taking place. They said, "We understand that these changes are challenging, and they were made with careful consideration given market conditions and the rising cost of development. Looking ahead, we continue to focus on offering more ways to play more games across any screen and ensuring value for Xbox players." So it's the cost of making these things that have been out for since 2020, or I can't even remember when this new generation came out. The cost of making these same products has gone up.
Okay.
Is that
Is
that something credited to like inflation? I know Enrico Suave sent us a text the other day, something about tariffs that are going on that are causing the price increase. What are you guys thinking there?
I think Microsoft, are you doing okay? You guys hurting for money?
Multi-billion-dollar companies, pension pennies.
$1 trillion.
You doing good?
It's a $1 trillion.
Yeah.
I find this to be extremely intriguing, especially when you take into account that Xbox is pushing the whole anything's an Xbox console, right? You check out any of the recent marketing, it's your TV's an Xbox, this is an Xbox, everything's an Xbox, and then they follow that up with saying if you actually do want an Xbox, your 5-year-old console, you were right, HaloTitan, it was November 2020 was when the Series X Series console came out. So 5-year-old hardware, suddenly they can't afford to make it and still make a profit off of it.
Yeah.
Extremely questionable decision, in my opinion.
It is kind of crazy, especially considering these game companies know that these consoles are going to lose money for what they build them at, for the cost of building them and then putting them out on the market. They will lose money for years before they start to turn a profit. You know, the big money maker being the software.
Correct.
They have on these.
And getting them into their, their space, their marketplace,
right?
Getting them into their system so that people won't leave. That's why, I think to myself, man, if Xbox was going to if the next Xbox is a handheld device Xbox, thank God, because at this point, I wonder, okay, all these Xbox games that I have, am I going to be able to play them going forward? Because all this cloud gaming and everything else, man, maybe I've spent all this money on different games that I'm never actually going to get to play. And that just sucks, especially seeing the price increase here. I go, oh gosh, okay, well, what's a handheld device going to look like if they actually do one?
Oh, it's going to be insane.
Gosh,
you know what kills me? So Game Pass has already gone up as well.
Yep.
I'm like, what's Game Pass going to look like? $80 games. They say select games, but it's like, okay. So
well, once they prove that they can sell games for $80, every game's going to be $80.
Right.
Yeah,
that's just come on, follow it to its logical conclusion. We're not morons.
I think we discussed this a little bit previously with the Switch 2. They're going to be selling some of their games at $80 as well.
Yep.
Yeah. Somebody in the comments got really mad at me because I misspoke and said $90, and I'm like, okay, $10 difference. I'm sorry, but also pretty soon it's gonna be $89.99. Yeah.
And to be double fair, at the time the common understanding was $90 for physical, $80 for digital. It later proved to be a misconception, but that is where it's going.
You're $10 off, and before you know it, it's going to be $89.99, $99.99. It's just going to keep going up, and it's like.
Well, let's read this next paragraph here.
I was about to say you go further down.
Though we don't know which first-party Microsoft games will cost $80, we can guess the lineup may include the next the next mainline. I'm not wearing my glasses, so I can't see very well. The next mainline Call of Duty, the new Fable, which was recently delayed till 2026, the Perfect Dark reboot, InXile's Clockwork Revolution, which I'm excited to see more on, Rare's Everwild, which Microsoft gaming boss Phil Spencer recently checked out, the Coalition's Gears of War E-Day. It's gonna suck to charge $80 for that. Hideo Kojima's OD or Undead Labs State of Decay 3. Psychonauts developer Double Fine is also working on a new game as well. And then, of course, Microsoft has an Xbox Game Showcase 2025 coming up here in June, I believe, as well as the Outer Worlds 2 Direct planned for June, where fans will no doubt find out more. So as of right now, at least, it's looking like kind of what Nintendo is doing with the Switch 2. It's looking like it's going to be their exclusive titles.
Yeah, they're exclusive kind of AAA titles. Yeah.
And does it kind of make sense to see Microsoft, raising the prices of games? Because I feel like they want more people invested in Game Pass than they want people spending $80.
Well, yeah, because then Game Pass looks like just that much better of a deal, right? And again, it's about getting you in their ecosystem. And once you're in their ecosystem, you can never leave. And you're like me, and you're like, oh my gosh, I hope the next Xbox is a handheld, because that's where most of my gaming happens. And I may never get to.
Well, let me go ahead. Let's go ahead and finish this article here. This is the first time we've seen a price hike on Xbox's Xbox Series S consoles since it launched in 2020, with the company committing to maintaining existing prices back in 2022 when PlayStation raised prices on the PS5. However, Xbox raised the price on the Xbox Series X in 2023 in most countries, but not the US. And it has raised prices globally on the Xbox Game Pass multiple times now. Astonishing as the amount these prices are increasing might be, Microsoft raising prices in the first place isn't exactly surprising. PlayStation did this exact thing in the UK, Europe, Australia, and New Zealand just last week for the second time in 3 years. And the entire industry has been discussing and gradually implementing price increases over the last few years, with AAA game prices jumping from 60 to 70 in just the last 5 years, and Nintendo going with the $80 for upcoming Switch 2 exclusive games like Mario Kart World and some other Switch 2 edition games. Switch 2 itself was recently revealed to be launching at $450, a price that drew criticism from Nintendo fans, even as analysts admitted such a high price was likely inevitable amid current economic conditions. So, finishing that up here, to me, it kind of sounds like a lot of this is becoming commonplace. It's talking about PlayStation has raised prices numerous times over the past few years. Xbox has done it with in other countries outside the US. and now it's catching up to the US. Hardware's going up. It's crazy to see a controller. I used to be able to buy a controller for, you know, 50 bucks. Now it's like $65. It's over the price of what games used to be.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. How does this impact you guys? Do you think, is it going to impact the market that much for Xbox fans?
It's interesting because I really do play in Xbox's hand constantly. I was just looking over Game Pass games that have come out recently and that are coming out. And it's exactly like Fable was saying, right? It really feels like they're just trying to funnel everyone in because this is, at the end of the day, a great deal. But then it does keep you there, right? Just this month, we got Expedition 33, which I know Rage and I have absolutely been in love with. We've got Oblivion shadow dropping. We've got big games like Doom on the horizon, and the list goes on. It's weird because of the price increases that have already come out and that are coming out. I don't really buy games when they come out. I know you're kind of like that, like me, like that, HaloTitan. Yep. It's like I can't think of the last time a game dropped. I'm just like, $70, take my money right now, give it to me. Yeah. I really do I play most games 3 years after the fact when they're on sale for $20-$40, you know.
We're the backlog gamers. That's
right.
Yeah.
It's very interesting that this is, for a bunch of people that play games, that this is kind of our new norm. And I wonder how many other people out there, if you're you know, let us know in the comment section, right? Like, are you a mainline on top of it? Yeah. When Wilds came out, when all these games came out, are you like 70, 60, whatever bucks? Take it right now. Do you keep up with that? How do you keep up with that?
Right.
I'm very curious to know.
Yeah. It makes me wonder if all the people who, because you know, you get people who play one game and they only play one game, and so when you go in and you play multiplayer against them, they whoop your tail because you play all these other games, and it makes me wonder.
Call of Duty.
Well, would they not be as good at that game if they had other games, and would they have other games if they didn't buy this game brand new? I mean,
it makes me wonder if that's not part of their strategy with Game Pass, because Game Pass, Xbox Live is gone. It's dead. It's part of Game Pass now. The lower tier Game Pass package is your pay to play online package, and it comes with 20-something games.
I think it's like 25.
And maybe that person that's paying for Game Pass for one game, you know, might get bored with it one day and decide, hey, I'm gonna look at all these other games I can download. Let's go try Rainbow Six or whatever else happens to be on there. I am like not too worried about it. My only concern is this is the second price increase we've seen, like in the last few years. My concern is, when does that stop and when does it become too much? Because I think if The Witcher 3 came out, $80, I'd pay that because you're going to get more than your $80 worth out of that game. But smaller games that don't have as much content, at what point does these large prices for games become too
detrimental
much?
To other game developers?
Or even large games that just aren't, you know, that don't hold up their snuff. Are you thinking about most modern Assassin's Creed or Suicide Squad or any of these major AAA, Redfall, these major games that just fell flat on their face? You know, that I feel like that is part of what leads into like whole studios shutting down, is that we're narrowing down this economy so much, right? Like Fable was saying, like most people might even only have the 1 or 2 games. So you give this new studio a new chance. Industry standard is $70, $80. Their game doesn't do great. Well, now you're out however many million in development, and now your whole team's gone, fired out of work, studio shut down. It's a very
everybody's upset. Right, because everybody's upset because they spent so much on the game. And they didn't feel like it was up to snuff for $80. It's tough.
Well, and I do think that increases the risk for developers for sure, because I can't help but think of Kurt Schilling and the company he started. I forget the name of the company. They only made one game, Kingdoms of Amalur, and they went out of business after it went out because, I mean, they put all this money into making this game that nobody knows what it is. It has to be a huge hit coming out for them to make money. I think the risk of that's definitely increased with the price of games, because they're gonna want to see those games get snagged up as they're put out. I think potentially some people probably start buying less games. I think more people invest in the Game Pass. Like, let's play when it comes to Game Pass.
And isn't that what they want?
And that's what I think Microsoft would want. But what do you guys think? Let us know down in the comments what you think about Xbox raising their prices on basically everything. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.
Bye-bye.